All right. Good evening, Troy Human Relations Commission, Wednesday, December 11th. We'll call this meeting to order. We'll start with roll call. Will you do our roll call?
Mr. Keller?
Here.
Mr. Siebert?
Here.
Ms. Hollicross?
Here.
Ms. Villalobos? Villalobos?
Here.
Here, present. Mr. Major?
No. Here.
Mr. Feltner?
Here.
All right. Thank you. Now we'll move on to approve, anybody want to approve the October 23rd, 2024 minutes?
A motion to approve. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. And we'll go down to approval of the 2024 report to City Council.
I'd like to thank Salome for putting that together, or Sonia, whoever else, if you collaborated with it, but I thought it was an accurate statement, and I would move that we submit that to the mayor.
Anybody else's thoughts?
I would second that.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Sounds good. All right, now we're moving on to our initiatives. Our first one is Festival of Nations. I did talk to Ideal. Ideal would be fine for I'm going to be intentional in how I say this, a motivated, well-constructed team that wants to carry out, to be under the idea. Completely fine. We're also talking possibly MLK as well. So that's perfectly fine, but they would need to have people, boots on the ground. Juneteenth is getting small, and MLK is also dissipating, so we're trying to think of ways to ignite those current groups. So that's all I got for Festival of Nations. Anybody get to talk to Ruth by any chance?
Can I have Ruth's number?
I sent it to you. You didn't get it?
We did not.
It's okay.
We did
I got
not.
you. Okay, no worries. Any other comments about Festival of Nations, possibly?
When is there like a tentative date when they would like that to happen? Like in the summer, or
No.
is it a fall event?
It was usually
There was
the weekend of mayor's concert.
Was it near Labor's Day?
When's mayor's, or
I think it
when's,
was near Labor's.
It's late
Labor
in
Day?
August.
Yeah.
yeah, whenever,
It's in,
it was
yeah.
usually in conjunction that weekend when, I think it was the mayor's concert. What's the one where they play, where the big cannon shoots off?
Yeah.
Is that mayor's concert?
That's
Yeah.
near the
Yeah.
and yeah, fall, August, maybe in the summer.
I think it's
in the fall.
in the fall, late fall, early August.
How much time do we need to plan something like that? Like you need a year in advance.
You definitely
Well,
need.
we threw Juneteenth together in,
We did, yeah.
what,
Yeah.
7 months or something,
Mhm.
6 months, so.
So I think if you have the people that are willing to do it, yeah, you could probably plan it quicker.
Mhm.
Yeah, so we would probably need to meet sooner than later on that. And I'm willing to meet as a secondary meeting for that.
For
And-
Festival of Nations.
And I'm sure they have contact information too of
Ruth.
different cultures within the community, and
I have like 20 on my street.
well, there you go.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yep.
Okay.
20.
Well, then we will carry that on then. Okay, let's carry it on, and
I would-
Marvin said he's willing to,
oh,
like, help with that team, and Kane, is that something you're interested in?
Helping out with the Festival of Nations?
Mhm.
Yeah, I could volunteer and help out.
Okay. And I'll help you, so, okay. All right, so we'll work on a secondary meeting for Festival of Nations. And then now we're moving on to diversity, equity, and inclusion training. John, do you want to report?
I don't have anything else to report.
Okay.
From the last meeting, Melissa is going to start the detailed planning of that in 2025, so we're just trying to get past the holidays and
Excuse me, okay.
so. is that-
So we basically just agreed that we all know that we should be trained. So that's kind of where we're at now with training, right? Do we want to add anything else on to?
Well, I think part of is that we support her
Mhm.
bringing that kind of training in.
Yeah.
And that she wanted us to be a part of the planning of that,
Oh, nice.
and
Okay.
along with some other people, so.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
maybe like planning and recruitment of maybe people
Yep.
wanting to come
Yeah.
too?
Yeah.
Okay. I think that's good. All right, so we'll just wait for Melissa and you to kind of get us, and then we'll do a subcommittee for that as well.
Yep,
Okay.
I'll check with her the first of the year, and
Perfect.
that's when she said to check in, and we'll start, see
Okay.
where she's at, and what kind of, however we can assist her.
Gotcha.
But then again, I think the training would be
Mhm.
very important for
For everyone.
anybody and
Yeah,
everyone.
I agree, yeah.
Who's conducting the training?
It's being sponsored by the Troy Foundation.
Okay.
And then she has that is it Townsend? I think it's Townsend. Karen
Mhm.
Townsend, who would come in and do the training.
I think she did it at Edison.
Yeah, she
and
did up at
they
Edison.
observed it. But if, again, like, you have a good source of trainers too.
Well, I
so
know
you
that
could-
Honda plants, like, they require it, and they have someone that they hire, and they send them to different plants where they do diversity, equity, inclusion, and I actually know someone very well that does the programs, and it's all of the things, right? It's not
Yeah.
just about
Yeah.
racial equality, but it's about
Mhm.
women's equality as well, and making sure
Mhm.
everyone understands about how everyone feels within the workforce, and
Yeah.
the things that we say,
Yeah.
have validity and matter, so.
Awesome. I don't think it hurts to reach out to Melissa to let her know, to have
Okay.
another tool in her toolbox. Again, if a business is already bought in, maybe that's helpful, that Honda could maybe say some words of support so other businesses might not be fearful or,
Right.
just
And
not
again,
knowing.
anybody that wants to be in on the planning from this team, and if you're going off, but I think outside people, I think she would embrace
Yeah.
whoever would like to help in the planning of that.
Yeah, so we'll still keep you connected with that for sure. I think that would be great. All right, so now we're moving on to commissioner member comments. We have some commissioners that have completed their terms, so we'll try not to be,
Try not to cry.
yeah, try not to be too tearful or anything, but we'll start with the comments you said.
No, I think I said some stuff when I announced I was gonna resign last
Oh,
time.
next
but
meeting, sorry.
I-
Right. Sorry,
What?
I skipped next meeting date, probably because
Oh.
it's one of the hardest things. Salome understands, God love her, she's always trying to corral us together. But our next meeting date, let's do that first, because I wanna stay on that note. And so, John's been very clear about his commitment ability, so I always mix up the weeks, John.
The first and third Wednesday, I am,
Yeah, and January is obviously like celebration, like MLK, all that good stuff, so I'm probably the most flexible in January, because classes haven't started. So, John, throw us a good date out for you.
January?
Yeah,
I do not have a Wednesday open in January.
okay.
Because I'm taking some vacation, so I'll be out of town.
Thursday will work too.
Thursday,
Or
Okay.
Tuesday,
can you do?
right?
I can do the,
Tuesday work?
the
Tuesday, issue.
first or second
Thursday, probably.
Thursday,
Uh,
Wednesday, yes.
Thursday.
Okay, which Thursday you want?
The 16th would be,
16th? How's the 16th for your guys' schedule?
I mean, it's free as a bird.
Free as a bird, okay. Do we want 6:30 or 6?
6:30, please.
6:30, okay. All right, 16th, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 sets, that's a quorum. Woo! All right, now we'll go back to commissioner comments. Anybody want to go first?
Wanna go first, Kane?
I'm sure,
You want to wrap it up? I feel like you're going to have the mic drop one.
Oh, okay. I can go last, I'm fine with either.
I'll go then. when I announced the resignation, I am very grateful for the opportunity to serve on this committee. I think the evolution has been just a godsend to watch in what they've done. When you go back to our first meetings at the fire stations and the teachers and the senior citizen center and all the people that have served from the beginning, and the new people who have come and continue to serve. I just wish you the greatest success, and I was supposed to go off at the end of last year, and I was convinced to stay one more year, but at this stage I am just there's just too many involved things. But I'm sure this committee will continue to serve the community well, serve the mayor well, and I just greatly wish you guys great success going forward.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well,
Well, I decided this year, after my job got very busy, to go ahead and choose to resign at the end of my term this year. It has been a blessing for now 4 years doing this since 2020. It's been a blessing to get to know all of you more and acquaint it with your families and getting to know them, and also just seeing how deeply the people in our community really care, as long as we're willing to speak about it and be about it, because people do want change for the good. And I have been blessed to be a part of that change, and hopefully I will be blessed to help in a different way and continue to see that this commission hopefully continues and grows into its true role of advising the mayor, whether that be real data or information, but making sure we're not quiet about the truth and honest about when we see what is wrong and what our community can improve. Because if we can't say what's wrong, then how can we grow? Because change is always needed. We know that when water is stagnant, it is poisonous, right? It must continue to run, it must continue to move, and we must continue to grow, we must continue to move, and we must continue to change so that we are a healthier community. And I'm glad that we have been that movement for this community in Troy, and I hope that we continue to be that movement as a commission for Troy. So I thank all of you for being a part of this and allowing me to be a part of it with you as well. So, thank you.
Thank you.
thank you. Yes, I think we'll be seeing Kane in our futures politically, which I look very much forward to. So, praying for you. It's good to see. I'm at that age where I get to call you the youth, although I know you're grown too, but your generation, though, really stepping up and caring and being on fire when meaning my generation is lackadaisical or complacent. Thank you for reigniting some of us old people. So it has been a pleasure.
So, John, our generation is back to the aggressive. We'll let Sonia's generation be the lackadaisical generation.
I can't help it. We have been a little complacent. We're all in survival mode, but it is, it's biblical through the mouth of babes, which is just younger people. So I am very grateful, very, very grateful for both of you. Again, you have many hats that you hold, and thank you for going above and beyond what was expected of you. And again, I'm praying for your political future and your future as well, and everything that you guys have brought to the table. We are very grateful. For you, that the access to already established leaders, like that was priceless. You did not have to do that for us, and I will always be grateful for that, Todd. Thank you very much, very, very much. And we all have gotten to know each other. It's very true. So, right. Any other commissioners like to say anything?
I have a comment, but it's also a public comment.
Mm-hmm.
In a conversation I had with a group of people, I promised them I would bring this to the HRC. I first checked with Salome to see if there was any ordinances on the books about political signs staying up past the election for a long period of time. There's many residents, many cities that have ordinances that political signs need to come down shortly after the election. And so I'd like to read, I would like for the mayor to consider establishing an ordinance requiring the removal of all political signs within 3 to 5 days following a conclusion of an election, and they could determine that time period. Keeping political signs up for an extended period of time can create an uncomfortable atmosphere for many residents, which I believe is not conducive to fostering community spirit. So I think by adopting this resolution, we can encourage a more harmonious environment that upholds collaboration and mutual respect among our residents, reinforcing the idea that despite our differing opinions, we're all part of the same community. And so again, I trust Salome that you'll take that to the mayor, or I can write that in a letter and send to her. But I just think that would be helpful to our community.
I agree. I was very overwhelmed, after the election was announced, how many people I had to hand a tissue from tears of fear and uncertainty. So I do appreciate somebody acknowledging that, yes, although somebody has won or will change in the future, that those signs after the election can cause panic and chaos in people's lives. So I appreciate that very much, because it has been a whirlwind of emotions for a lot of our community members. So thank you for that.
Well, again, I think we have to remember, especially at this, at a community level, we're all in this together.
Exactly.
And we can't let the larger entity divide us at a community level, because if they do, then they have won.
Yep.
And so we got to stick together. And again, I just think that's mutual. I just think it's respectful. Okay, if you had a different candidate than I did and your candidate won, I think it's respectful. You know.
Yeah.
Happy for you. But let's take the signs down and let's love each other and move forward.
Exactly. I agree.
So I think it's hurtful to leave them up for a long period of time.
Yeah, it is, definitely.
So,
I like that.
would it be helpful for me to put that in a formal letter for the mayor of the city, or do you just take that? I mean, I feel like we're to advise the mayor. I'm just giving, that would be my advising the
We'll
mayor.
make sure she gets the job.
Yes.
Huh?
So, Salome or I will make sure she gets it.
Great. I appreciate that. I thought that there would have been an ordinance, but you said you don't think there is. Okay.
You run into some free speech issues with political speech, and I'm not going to
Yeah.
speak on that, but I know that's, in the past, there's been significant case law with regards to what and when and what.
Okay.
So I don't,
Yeah.
Gotcha.
that would be.
That'd be something for the
I'm
city-
not the
the
city
city lawyer
lawyer,
to
I'm not
look at.
talking
Yeah,
as a city
yeah,
lawyer, I'm
yeah.
just saying,
Yeah.
part of the reason it may not have been developed is that it may have existed at one point in time and somebody challenged it. I
Yeah.
don't know
Yeah.
that to be the fact. I'm just pointing out that that's been, there's lots of case law on political speech as opposed to advertising free speech or Christmas decorations or things like that.
Yeah.
If you guys remember, there was a big incident in Pickle with the guy who kept the werewolf up forever and ever and ever. So
Oh, yeah.
there's
Yeah.
The community I came from, I know many years ago, they had that in place. Now, maybe it has been challenged since, and I don't know.
John,
So-
I don't,
but
I'm
if
not saying
they
one
would
way or
look-
the other,
yep.
I'm just saying
If
that
they would look into it, and if nothing else, if people would, you know, I don't think many people watch our meetings, but let's be kind and considerate to each other. I mean, it's like John Legend said, can't we just love each other?
It's true.
It's so simple, but yet so hard.
But a good point, and Salome or I will make sure
Yeah,
that
I appreciate
Patrick and
that,
the mayor
yeah.
get that.
So,
And again, I realize that there's difference between political signs and other,
yeah, and campaign
that,
signs,
that,
right?
so there are other things I realize that the city would not be able to do if somebody wants to,
Mhm.
Right.
yeah.
Yeah,
So.
that makes sense.
But the signs, yeah.
I
If
think,
if they can get her done, it would be good, helpful to the community.
We will get your response as
Thank you.
as the city conduit from this committee. I will pass that on to the city, and so will Salome, I'm
I
sure.
appreciate that. And again, it was a group of people that we were in a conversation one night, and people were sharing some heartache and
yeah.
so,
Well, there's been,
Thought it-
some people, for whatever reason, felt that they could come out of that niceness because a candidate won or didn't win, as if, like, it was a law that came that night, and it's not. You shouldn't be nasty to people or threatening. You're not the president-elect, right? So, yeah,
Well, you
be kind, yeah.
just out of like
Say.
John's point, you just out of courtesy. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it doesn't really even have to be candidate related. I had some school levy
Issues, yep.
boards that were up, and I thought they were up a little too long, and
Mhm.
reached out and said, "Dude, the election's been over for 14 days. I got some signs up here that, you know, it's over and
Maybe that,
past."
yeah.
That's
Mhm.
Yep.
you know, and they were busy, and the school was busy, and they got done within a few hours. But yeah, I think the effectiveness of the sign is over relatively quickly after the election, John. I don't dispute that.
Yeah. So, I just wanna, again, if you have recommendations to fill the 2 seats that we're honoring tonight that are being vacated, please get your recommendations to our mayor via email. It's probably the best way to just do it, not to Salome, but via email. I did do one, Vernon Witt is my recommendation. I just talked to him in passing in the grocery store, and he said it was okay. But I don't have any others right now. I'd love how Todd, the city conduit, I would love for that to intentionally be filled with another city conduit, because again, I think that's a really good relationship. It at least gets us over that hump, somebody that can kind of be that bridge. But that's all the comments I have in regards to that. If you have a candidate, you can say it if you want, or, you know, if somebody's stirring around in your head. If not, just email that to the mayor. And then, do we have any public comments? I know it's been a rough week and I'm just going off of Facebook and some things like our fire at our historical. I went to preschool there, super sad. The Hobarts actually scholarshiped me
I went
there, and I want to say I am the first African-American kid to be at that school. So it was very sad to see it in flames, and, you know, there was wrecks and traffic issues going on in the last couple of weeks, so I know everybody's been busy. But Chief, do you have any comments that you want to make about anything for the month? It's been a rough week for you guys, or month.
The Overfield Tavern is still under investigation. I know that the state fire marshal was in with architects and the fire department investigators, and I don't think that they've released anything, but I was told that the state fire marshal understood the gravity of the building and what it meant to this community, and vowed that it would be very open, and he would be very open with any investigation results that they come up with.
Okay, I thought I saw a post from our government website that alluded to the boiler maybe have.
Seen that.
Okay.
You know, I have seen Facebook posts that talked about maybe an electrical issue.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's been rolled in or rolled out yet.
Okay, well, I pray that they get to the bottom of it and we can just rebuild. Thankful that I heard it all wasn't destroyed, so that's a plus. So maybe we can, get it repaired faster. But yeah, that's a lot of history in that building, so that's tough, very tough. All right, well, we don't have any other public comments, so.
One more thing. I want to recommend this before I head out.
Okay.
There's a good book that I am about finished with. It is called Upstream, and it's about upstream thinking. And I'll just tell you the start of the book. So you are on a picnic with your best friend, and there's a river at this picnic. And you hear a kid screaming in the river, help, 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 help. And you and your friend jump in the river to help the friend, or the child. And then there's another child, and then another child. And you're exhausted swimming back and forth, saving these children. And you see your best friend swimming upstream. And you say to him, what are you doing? And he said, I'm going to go find the guy throwing these kids in the river. And it really captured me. But the book is about doing the hard thing and swimming upstream. And, we do a really good job at this country at seeing a problem and solving it, and not really going after the cause, the true cause of the problem, like homelessness or the housing crisis or the income inequality, wealth gap. It goes on and on. We do a great job of trying to help people when they're in the scenario, not really preventing people from going in those scenarios. And so it's a good book. It allows you to think about different scenarios and how you handle things. It's making me a better teacher as well about handling situations when there's conflict in the classroom. And it just opens your mind up and thinking in many different ways. And I would recommend it to everyone. It's a wonderful book, and hopefully this commission as well can be upstream thinkers and really find the cause to issues and not focus too much on the problem itself, but what can we do as a community to prevent these things from happening and helping instead of helping just one individual person. So.
Absolutely love that. I absolutely
great
love
book.
that. That was brilliant. Like, I'm going upstream to find who's
Yes.
throwing the kids in the water.
It makes you think of all the
Brilliant.
things that you're thinking in your head, and then
Yeah.
someone's saying it and they put it in a book, and you go, yes, I was thinking that, but yes, it's good.
That's
Yes, it's a
brilliant.
great book.
It actually discerned something in my heart. We see it's public information. The Lincoln Center is looking for a new director. Again, that has been one of the beacons of African American history, has been held there. It was the first schoolhouse for African Americans here in our city. We've done so much history work over the last couple years. If you have any thought of, again, who would be a good person to fill and continue to uphold its accreditation as being that site for African Americans' history and for that specific community, please reach out, say something. We want to make sure that we get a good steward in there. That community could use good character, transparency, and support. That's the same premise of going upstream. So God just laid that in my heart to, again, we need a good person to fill those shoes so we can continue to get to root problems and break generational. Thank you for sharing that. I'm going to go get that book.
It's good. It's on Audible. Yeah, it's a good drive in the car and throw it on. It's
That's awesome.
I don't think it's
Very awesome.
Do you know what the percentage of Hispanics are in the population of Troy?
It's on
2 point something, isn't it?
I thought black people were.
We're 4%.
We're 4%.
I think
We're 4.
we're like 1 to 2%. But I'm not sure. I don't have it on me. All right. Well, do we need to answer that question before we adjourn?
2.9.
Yeah, 2.9.
2.9.
That actually went up a little bit. I think it was a little bit lower prior. It's really cool.
Was that
All right.
from the
So-
census report?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's on the Census Bureau. They have, if you go on their website, they do a pretty good breakdown. I've got it pulled up now of our total population, and then age, gender, race, housing, family living arrangements, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Also pray for our brothers and sisters in Georgia. I was watching the live protest of the young people at the Capitol. They were not playing around. And again, I thought of our sister Salome, and I thought, wow, that's pretty big deal. Imagine being not displaced, but not in your country and watching on TV, like where you grew up, and it's through a TV, right? So I'm sure I just thought about it, and I said a little prayer. So again, just be kind. I like that, and swim upstream. So with that being said, we'll go ahead and close our meeting out. We got to call a motion to close it, or can we close it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we need
close.
to
Okay.
move to adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Sorry.